Hey Cancer, welcome to your November 2019 Rune and Tarot reading, and welcome to my channel, Change Spider Tarot. I am first going to talk with you about what I saw in the runes, and then we're going to flip the camera down and we're going to look at some cards to see what kind of clarification I could get, okay? The intention that I set when I cast the runes is what Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising most needs to hear, what they most need to understand at this time, okay? So it's just kind of a very general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. The first thing that I want to point out for you in the rune casting is that there's a small cluster around the rune that represents you, and that's the home and the fire rune, okay? And then from there, we kind of get to, kind of spiraling out from there, we get to the death rune and the comfort rune that kind of spiral out from the home rune, all right? And then that kind of spirals further into the rune that represents war. And so from that, I'm getting that there may be some kind of threat or chaos or turmoil or instability or something like that around your home environment. All right, Cancer? The other thing that I would point out in the rune casting is that kind of farthest from you, from the rune that represents you, is a cluster of runes: the man rune, the love rune, and the family rune, which I thought was interesting. And you know, like, I couldn't help but think that possibly this turmoil, this chaos that's surrounding your home environment has to do with some kind of instability around possibly your partnership or your marriage, your family. So family, the family rune can represent children as well, and you know, and just kind of, and love was there too, right? So it was man, love, and family were all kind of clustered together farthest away from you in the casting, okay? And then I also wanted to point out that the rune that represents war, so conflict, those, you know, that kind of thing, was closest to the man rune. So again, suggesting that, you know, there may be something going on at home where there's possibly a lot of arguing. Maybe there's even a separation, since you two are kind of like on opposite ends of the casting. Maybe there is some kind of separation, so your family is kind of separated. Things are kind of in disarray and turmoil within your home environment right now. And you know, and you know, of course, as this would, if this is your story, if this is what's going on with you, this goes without saying, but I did see it in the runes, so I will say it here, which is, you know, there is some kind of affliction or to your emotional comfort and your stability. All right, so that kind of goes without saying here, but it did come across when I was just strictly looking at the runes, right, without kind of reading between the lines. So yeah, so this is definitely around the story that I'm tuned into, the story that I'm picking up on, and what I'm going to focus on with the tarot and some oracle cards is this, which is this kind of chaos and turmoil in the home environment, and we'll see what kind of information and clarification we can get for you, okay? So I will see you in a minute, and I'm going to flip the camera down, okay? All right, Cancer, let's take a look and see what we can learn about this challenge that you're having in your home environment, this thing that's affecting your emotional comfort and your stability. I'm going to ground the reading so we can make a transition from the runes to the tarot with this deck. It's magical spell cards. I'm going to be using it as an oracle to try to get an understanding of what the energy is around this home situation for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. What is the overall energy surrounding this situation for Cancer around the home? around this possible emotional challenge to their comfort and their stability. What is the energy there? What does that look like for Cancer? Sun, moon, and rising. All right. New beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. Number 44. So perhaps Cancer, this separation, this conflict, this challenge that I'm seeing that came out in the runes, effectively, you know, we had the death, right? We had death and comfort all kind of spiraling out from the home rune. And so, you know, in this case, the death rune could have been suggesting this new beginning, right? So maybe this is one of those it's out of your hand. I hate to say out of your hands, but it's like it's done. I kind of feel like this is a done deal, that it's very painful. It has been very painful, and it continues to be very painful for you. But it's kind of one of those, it is what it is. And so now you have an opportunity for a new beginning, this transformation, starting a new life, turning over a new leaf, starting to do things differently. That's the message that I'm getting here. You know, creating a new nest for yourself, right? So if this is your home environment that's completely shifted and changed, you have an opportunity now to make a new home, right? And create a new nest that's comfortable for you and restores your sense of stability and comfort, all right? So that's what I got with this so far. So let's put this over on the side and let's take a look at some tarot and see what the tarot has to say. So what additional information can we get for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs regarding this home situation, this transformation, this new change? What can we get for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising? All right, the Ace of Wands. There's another new start for you. The Page of Wands. Wow. You really are starting something fresh and new, huh? And the Two of Swords. Yeah, but it comes at a cost, doesn't it? So I'm kind of getting, I just got a new hit, because so far everything has been leading me to feel that this is something that's already transpired. So if this is something that has not already transpired, but it sounds like something that you've been thinking about doing, or something that your partner perhaps has been asking you to do, Cancer, perhaps you have been choosing to ignore it at this point. You've been choosing not to make a decision. You've been choosing not to act. So that's kind of maybe for one subset of you, right? So like the person in your life or your home environment, or you know, even if another person isn't involved and this has to do with your home. So this could also now apply to possibly, maybe it's you need to sell your house and you really don't want to, right? And it's like that idea of uprooting your family and, you know, moving them from the place they always knew and where they, you know, maybe your kids grew up, and it's like that's always been your home, and now you know, so like there's some kind of avoidance happening around this change and around this new beginning. If the change has already happened, and it goes back to kind of what I was saying earlier, which is the first message I was picking up on, which is this has already happened and you have to come to terms with what is. Again, you're resisting something, right? You're resisting fully moving forward. You're resisting fully embracing this new life that's been essentially, whether or not you've chosen it, right? It is what it is, and you now need to just make that conscious decision and make that conscious choice to embrace that this is my new life. This is the new me. This is my new life. This is my new situation. This is my new home. Whatever the case is for you, that to not kind of be in this energy, which is to just, you know, you're kind of like in limbo land, where, you know, yeah, I'm in a new place and I'm sitting there now, but I'm not going out, I'm not meeting new people, my stuff's all still in boxes, I'm not putting paintings on, I'm not putting artwork on the wall, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's this energy. All right, let me shift something here real quick. Hold on. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at some more tarot and see what we can get here. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What else can we get for Cancer related to this situation with this change and transformation that they may be resisting, and that has been painful for them? You know, it's understandable. We go through things that are not fun. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to think about it. I get it, you know. I totally get it. What can we get for Cancer? The Hermit. Yeah, I think this is the energy that you're in right now, Cancer. Whether or not this change has happened, you're keeping yourself a little disconnected, but sometimes, yeah, and you're feeling, yeah. So, you know, I do this a lot, actually, and I have been doing this a lot the past few years. Nothing wrong with this, right? There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with any of it. But taking yourself out of the mix while you're healing, while you're exploring, while you're trying to figure out what the next version of yourself looks like, you know, I actually really encourage that, and I wish more people would take the time to do Hermit energy, some kind of soul searching. But clearly here for you, it's deeper than that, right? So it's more than just I'm taking a time out to kind of figure out what the next version of myself looks like. You are feeling possibly abandoned and like you're not sure how you're going to make this change, make this transformation, how you're going to kind of get back into the swing of things, how you're going to reincorporate maybe your family dynamic, right? So maybe your family dynamic was, you know, when you all lived together, you know, things looked and functioned in a certain way, and now that's all changed. And so now I think you're in the energy of, now that I'm away from these people or my home, or I'm in this brand new situation, whatever the case is for you, I think your challenge here is it's a mindset, right? Same idea here. This is a mindset where instead of living in this, or instead of like, you know, feeling lack or feeling like you are lacking, to instead, you know, kind of use this hermit time, use this time that you're taking to yourself to maybe withdraw a little bit from the world, to find the gratitude, right? Find the good things. Recreate yourself. Recreate who you want to be in this new place, this new life. Even if it's painful, even if the experience of getting there is painful, the encouragement here is to shift, have a mindset shift, and release the sense of like lack, or this could even be like, I screwed up, no one's ever going to accept me again, my family, I don't know how it's ever going to be the same, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and the Page of Cups. Yeah, here's that death and transformation card again with the Page of Cups. So what I'm getting from this, Cancer, is that in order for you to kind of fully move on into this new energy, this has to be released. Like, this energy has to be released. You do need to embrace this transformation in order for you to get to a Page of Cups, which is someone who's, for me, Page of Cups is someone who is very open-hearted, someone who takes a fresh approach to life, a youthful approach to life, someone who isn't afraid to love again, someone who is willing to kind of communicate and trust, kind of open heart, right? But in order to have that, you have to fully embrace what's happened, and allow the transformation to kind of to do what it's supposed to do for your life, right? Sometimes the universe puts us into situations and we don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we have to trust. And that's part of what you can learn here by taking some time out, is to, meditate, pray, do whatever it is that you do to kind of tap into your spiritual side, and learn to trust, right? Learn to trust that the universe is guiding us. And sometimes that guidance, sometimes those experiences are painful, and I 100% get that. Okay? So that's what I'm getting here. So let's see if we can get you. I'm going to pull a few more tarot cards to see about kind of where this is going for you. And then we'll pull an animal spirit oracle at the end to get you a final piece of advice or inspiration. We'll see what we get. Okay. So for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, where will this situation lead in the near future? Where is this going for Cancer? How can they best handle? I mean, we've already gotten that advice, so like I hate to kind of ask that again, but so let's see if we can get any insight into kind of where this is going for you. So let's ask it this way. If Cancer is able to make the shift out of the Two of Swords and Five of Pentacles energy, if they're able to shift out of that, what does this new beginning and change and transformation look like for them? All right, the Hierophant, the King of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. Yay! Yay. Okay, so let me put these down. So if you are able to shift out of these mindsets, this feeling of lack, and maybe not embracing and accepting the change and the shift that's happened in your life, you are going to shift out of the Five of Pentacles and move into a Three of Pentacles energy, which is awesome, which is collaboration, and this is putting yourself back out there. This is putting yourself in situations where you're meeting people and you're working with people and you're learning and you're doing and you're showcasing, you know, either yourself or your work, and you're really just, this is really just putting yourself back out there. So that's almost kind of like a no-brainer, but that's what this card represents, which is really interesting. The King of Wands is a very dynamic and strong energy. The King of Wands is very passionate and moves forward in a very purposeful, deliberate manner, is very focused and knows, you know, kind of what he wants and what he's going for. May not necessarily be the most thoughtful, if I'm being honest. May not be necessarily the most thoughtful energy, but definitely, like, once a decision has been made, pursues it kind of full force, right? Pursues it with all of the fire energy that he has behind him. And the Hierophant is interesting. I want to say, I'm going to use this little guy to get some clarification on the Hierophant before I say anything. I'm getting a couple things, but get clarification on the Hierophant for Cancer. Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Get clarification on the Hierophant for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. The Emperor in reverse. So I don't have reversals in this main deck that I was using, and so sometimes I like to kind of tap into this one to see. So let's see, let me get one more, because what I'm getting right now is different than what I originally thought. So I'm glad I pulled this deck out to get some clarification with, because what I'm getting from this is that you need to step away from convention. You need to, so when this, got it, all right, now I got it. When this mindset shift happens, when you get out of these energies, you will no longer be bound by convention, by societal, the idea of what society wants you to do and act and say and be like. You will no longer be bound by these traditional societal rules. You will be able to move forward with your passion and your ideas and your desires unencumbered. So the King of Wands is an unencumbered energy. He is the king of his domain. He does whatever the F he wants, and he doesn't worry about what anybody else says or thinks about it. He just does what he wants to do because he's the King of Wands and he can. Okay? So that's what this is. So this Emperor in reverse is suggesting that, you know, letting go of this control, letting go of your old domain, letting go of I don't need this anymore, letting go of the kind of the boundaries, let's say it that way, the boundaries that you had drawn for yourself and what your life was supposed to look like and feel like and be like, and how other people were experiencing your life, if that makes any sense. That needs to be purged, right? So when this mindset shift happens for you, you're going to find yourself in a situation, or you're going to find yourself, excuse me, more capable, more willing, and more able to let go of these old conventions and these old dynamics that had possibly been holding you back before. And I would be willing to presume that they were maybe making you unhappy too, and you maybe just didn't even realize it. And that's part of the beauty of being in hermit mode for a little while. All of these things kind of, we get these insights, right? We get these insights and we're like, dang it, have I just spent the last 30 years kind of thinking that or doing that when I didn't have to? That's what I'm seeing here, is that shift will happen for you if you are able to shift out of this mindset and, you know, do your hermit thing in a healthy way, right? So doing the hermit thing in a healthy way is not living in this space. It's not deciding and not accepting and feeling, feeling sorry for yourself in some instances, right? It's, let me take this time to do some exploring for myself. Maybe this is, part of this could also be therapy. Part of this could be, I'm going to meditate every day and I'm going to see what I get. I'm going to read some books on manifestation or spiritual healing or whatever the case is for you, wherever you are on your journey, right? Look into the things, spiritual things that may have always been calling to you, or you've been drawn to, but you haven't had time, or you haven't made time to explore them. That's the message that I am getting here for you, Cancer, okay? I think it's beautiful. You just have to trust. You have to trust in the transformation, the new beginning and the transformation, okay? All right, let's get you a final message from the Animal Spirit Oracle. So what final message can we give to Cancer? Sun, moon, and rising signs. Inspiration can we give to Cancer related to this situation, please? All right, Crown Hawk Spirit. 31 adds to a 4. Time to let go. Looky there, Cancer. It is definitely time. It's time to kind of let this energy go, right? It's time. So the process of getting to where you are, I'm assuming based on the rune casting that this was painful and not a fun experience for you. And maybe it was something that you chose to do, in which case, maybe at the end of the day, it wasn't that hard of a struggle for you. So whether or not you're in the camp of, this was my choice or it was forced upon me, whichever camp you fall into, there's still a need for both sets of you to embrace the new, let go of the old, allow the transformation to happen. And you will start progressing forward in a whole new direction where you put yourself back out there and you're collaborating and you're doing and you're living your life the way that you've always wanted to live it, right? Unobstructed by whatever boundaries and norms have been put on you. So I hope you find that helpful and healing and inspiring. And I hope to see you around soon. All right, Cancer, take care.